Welcome back to the workshop. It's Tim for Tim Kraus Electronics, and today we are going to screen print the face plates for the Foxer amplifier. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. I'm a bit nervous. I've never used plastisol ink before. I've always used a much thinner water-based ink, and this stuff is really stiff and sticky and messy, and so far I don't care for it, but hopefully we can get a good image out of it. Anyway, one of the things about plastisol ink is that it needs to be warmed up. That kind of helps with the viscosity, because it is, I mean, it's like, it's a thick paste until you warm it up and stir it really well. So I've had it sitting in front of this heater for a little while. One source said that 80 degrees is about the ideal temperature for working with plastisol inks. So it's probably about there now. In fact, I can probably turn the heater off and give it a good stir. The screen burn was, well, I didn't learn from the last experience, apparently. I made the details too small for that screen. Basically, I ran into the same issue that I had when I was doing the artwork on the Oberon pedal that I did a while back, where it was just the lettering and little tiny fine lines were just too small for this screen. And if I were to use a thinner ink and a finer mesh, okay, maybe I could get away with that, but I mean, what it really comes down to is that I tried to get this screen to do more than I really should have done, and I should have used some larger lettering and more blocky lettering, probably put everything in bold, because I'm noticing that some of the letters just aren't, they didn't wash away very cleanly, and I think little pieces of some of those letters, even if I do a good print here with this plastisol ink, are going to be missing. So we'll have to see how it turns out. I may end up having to just do a new screen, new burn, and redesign it with some larger lettering. So we'll find out. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, before I put any ink here on the screen, let me just show you how I've set the position for these plates here. This is really tricky to line up even with a clean screen, and then once you have some ink on it, once you've used the screen to print once, there's no way you're going to see through it to get these perfectly positioned. So I had them, it was a time-consuming process to say the least. I had to just, nudge them a tiny bit at a time to get these in just the right position. And once I had them lined up, just give them an outline with some masking tape here. Now with those lined up, let's see what we get here. Wow, look at that. Goopy stuff. Okay. Oh, look at that. That looks awesome. It's a little bit fuzzy in a couple of spots, but I'll take it. I mean, yeah, I'll do a better burn on the next attempt, but shoot, for the first, look at that. That's great. And with a black background over that, that'll look really nice. I'll get rid of these little registration marks on the edges, but that's definitely acceptable for a first attempt here. And like I said, I'll burn a new screen for subsequent builds. As long as you can read it, it's okay. I guess this will just be the one that I keep. Cool, nice, love it. Okay, so after painting the back of these face plates, I can see better the what I ended up with, and this is not acceptable. So what I'm going to do is, oh, and also these pieces of plexiglass have some kind of haze on them. The protective plastic over it was peeling off, and so I think just, you know, it's been a long time since I first bought that stuff, and who knows what's on it now, but it looks pretty grungy. So I'm going to use this temporarily just to get the amp built, and though I didn't really want to do it, I'll build the amp, and then I'll replace the faceplates with some better ones once I get some different ink. And I've already edited the image that I'm working with, so the lettering is not quite so small. That should make it a lot easier to get a clean burn out of it. Yeah, I mean, the 1, 2, 3, 4 on the voice setting here, can't even see it, and the bright switch label, can't tell what it says. So this is definitely not good enough, but great proof of concept, and so that's definitely a win. I'll hold this up a little closer. So, yeah, like I said, great proof of concept. I think once I get the nitty-gritty details of the screen printing process down, these are going to look really nice. So we'll go ahead and drill these out and install them on the chassis and finish building the amp, and then I'll just make a new set of faceplates. You know, plexiglass is not hard to come by, so not a big deal. If I get a new piece of plexiglass that still has a protective coating on it, that'll help too. Okay, it's been a couple of days since I did the screen printing on this, and I've done a little bit of research on some different options, and I think what I'm going to try is actually using some latex house paint and thickening it with something that will also keep it from drying out too quickly. I'll do kind of a test print just to, well, not really a print, just I'll test it out to see how quickly it dries, and if it looks like it might work, then I may end up reprinting this faceplate using the latex paint. In the meantime, this, even with its flaws, looks pretty cool. I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. Aside from, you know, the printing errors, I think once I get it right, it's really going to look nice, especially with the Tolex and grill cloth that I've got picked out for this. So the next thing I'm going to do, I was going to just move straight on to wiring the front panel controls and the tube sockets, but I'm not going to do that. First I'm going to reinforce the chassis, and the reason is that this is a fairly lightweight aluminum. I would have liked to go with a thicker chassis, but it's just difficult to find the right ones. So this chassis is great for, you know, just DIY project, experimenting with stuff, building something that I'm going to keep for myself. But as a commercial product, I would not trust it. It just is a little too flimsy, and in fact, I'm going to bring the camera over here just a second. Now here you can see the amount of deflection in this chassis because of the weight of these transformers. This thinner aluminum just can't hold that weight without bending. So I'm going to use this aluminum channel as a brace. I'm going to attach it to the chassis here. I'm also going to put a couple of these pieces on here. These are going to become our mounting tabs. And I'm going to put some steel inserts in here for the bolts that are going to hold the chassis in place. So that's going to be the next video. So that is it for this video. I'm probably just going to get right into working on reinforcing the chassis. So hopefully it'll only be a couple of days before I post the next video. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Like it if you like it. Comment, subscribe. One more thing before I end this. I was looking in my on my channel, you know, it tells you how many minutes of each video people typically watch. And I noticed that on a lot of my videos, people only watch, on average, about 2 minutes of the video. And although I'm not doing this to make a living off of YouTube, I have a regular job, this is just something that I enjoy doing. And I want to share it with as many people as I can. So I wanted to ask you for your opinion. Please put in the comments what I can do to improve this channel. Do you want me to stop talking so much? Do you want me to talk more, explain things in more detail? Am I spending too much time showing the soldering process? Does that bore you? Just let me know. What is it that you do or don't want to see in these videos so that I can make it more interesting for you. And hopefully people will want to watch more than just 2 minutes of each video. Anyway, I'll see you next time.